Hey, aloha folks, and welcome to the Klipper Golf Course. Here with the coach again. Coach, popular subject these days, beginner golfers. How do they get started? And I know you're an expert on this because you've got a lot of beginner clinics. A bunch of new people coming out. But someone brand new. Let's talk to the people who are just getting interested in golf. They want to play golf. They don't know anything about it. Maybe they don't even know anyone that plays golf. They have no in.
Right.
How do they get started?
That's a real good question. That's taken it so far back that I haven't seen too many people come to the game that don't know anything about it when they get to me. Like, how do they get to the golf course?
Right.
I think because of the Tiger Woods era, the game got so spread out and around that I don't think anybody really feels that way, like they don't know what golf is. But there's a few, I'm sure. The interest may come from a relative, a friend, classmate, maybe even from an Instagram from someone that they know from a distance. And then that triggers that little spark, like, what's this?
Mm-hmm.
What's golf? And that's how they normally get here, from that far back in the community or in other sports or other interests. But again, like I said, I don't see that very often.
Yeah.
But when I do, it's a good thing because it's a fresh slate. And, explaining the golf clubs, explaining the different cuts of grass and why there's 18 holes and what's etiquette, what are the rules, all those things, driving range, where do I practice?
Right.
How do I practice? It's such a new world for them, and it's vast.
But how do they even get there? How do they even arrive at the point where they are able to have such discussions? They need to get to the golf course. They need to figure out which golf course to go to. Do they find a pro to work with? Do they just walk into the shop? What kind of equipment do they need? What should they wear?
Yeah.
What is the best way to just get started? Should they go and Google it? Should they go on YouTube and watch some videos? Should they just go to their neighborhood golf course? What should they do?
I think they should go to our YouTube because we kind of explain everything. And we're out there now. We have all this information about what we do as well. We have just about everything here too, from the practice to the beach that we're sitting at, to the restaurants, to everything on base is pretty much here for the people that can get here.
Right.
Now, as far as getting the outsider in here, that's a little bit more difficult. But if we're
Right.
talking about the military families that are here already, this is pretty much centerpiece for them as recreation. I'm sure they drive by it, hear about it from a neighbor, see someone walking with a golf club. We see golf carts driving on the street by some of the residents. So that would get them in the door.
Okay.
I don't see it very often, or it gets to you guys in the shop first and gets out to me at
Right.
the driving range, and that's when things start to develop for them.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I think what I would probably suggest to a golfer, if someone was interested in golf, I'd tell them, first thing you need to do is probably get a collared shirt, right? Put on some sneakers at least. Head to the golf course. I would say don't need to buy equipment right away because, as you know, you're always fitting your students for equipment, but
Yes.
many times they don't start up. In fact, the spouses club, they don't have clubs, so we let them borrow clubs to begin with. Not everyone has access to borrowing clubs, but if you have friends or family members who might want to lend you clubs to begin with, that's a good way because golf is very expensive. But another thing you can do is rent equipment, because we used to do that as well. We get people renting clubs and then having lessons. That's another thing you might want to do, is take a good set of beginners lessons, a series, because you get a good coach like the coach here. If you're on Oahu, give us a call, 808-254-2107. Ask us to set you up with Coach Leland. But you get yourself in that sort of situation where now you can learn the fundamentals, you can learn the game correctly, and that's just going to make this a much better experience for you overall. But I think the first thing you need to do, put on a polo shirt, put on a nice pair of shorts, some sneakers, head down to your local golf course. Like again, I said, if you're on Oahu, you have military base access, head out to the Klipper. If you don't, give us a call. Again, 808-254-2107. We have a public partners program that we can set you up with for base access. But head on over to your local golf course and ask the pro or ask the staff what you can do to get started if they have any beginners programs. We have that here. Yes. Don't go out and buy yourself a set of clubs right away. Borrow or even rent. And a lot of times if you hook yourself up with a good golf instructor, clubs can be provided for you to borrow for your lessons. And then once you establish yourself, you start understanding the game, then we can take the next step forward and get you fitted for a good set of golf clubs. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so
perfect
like
format.
And when you and so tell us now, when you have a brand new golfer come in, really quickly, just kind of go over the basic bullets on what can they expect to have. What type of instruction should they expect to receive from you when they come as a beginner?
Well, it's going to be a patient instruction. We're going to be very careful not to move them too quickly through the fundamental steps, which are grip, aim, stance, ball position, posture. There's 5 swing positions we work on, getting them athletic, making sure they don't injure themselves by swinging too hard, too fast, or incorrectly to the ground. And then safety. You know, it's all about, there's so many people in a small area practicing, training, and no one's paying attention to you. So it's also about how to blend with the other people that know how to be here, that have come in just like they have, and be a part of. I think what the most talked about thing when people first get here is they don't feel comfortable.
No, exactly.
Yeah, how do I get comfortable here? And that's when I basically get them into understanding everybody started the same way. Even Tiger Woods, it's just a matter of time before you feel like one of, but the etiquette, the safety part is probably initially the most important, then the swing, then you start to develop a little less self-consciousness and you become part of the driving range, the chipping and short game area, and then right to the first tee.
Right.
It's pretty smooth once you get those little steps out of the way and you feel like you belong. You make them feel like they belong, because they do. We all started there. You started there.
Oh, I did too,
You still remind me of someone that just learned how to play.
Sometimes I do, especially if you see me swinging.
But we're all beginners still.
No, but okay, so you brought up a good point about comfort, you know, and feeling comfortable at the golf course. I know that a lot of the new players, especially if they come out on their own, they're a little insecure, if not very insecure. They're self-conscious. They don't know what to do. But I noticed that's something you're very good at. You help the golfers feel comfortable. You make them feel like they're part of the Ohana, you know, part of our Klipper golf family.
And they are.
They feel comfortable. You introduce them to the staff. So, you know, a good point is if you're watching this video and you want to play golf, you don't have a tie into the game, you don't have friends or family that play, you don't have a group to fall in with, head to the golf course, meet the staff, work with the pro, get in with a good golf professional, start off a series of instruction. And that way you start to build this sense of community, because now you have a mentor and a friend in the golf pro. You start to become familiar with the staff. You come to practice. You buy range balls. You know the clerk there. You might even meet some of the assistant pros or even the head professional there. Become friends with them. Introduce yourself to them, because they're here to serve you. That's why we have our jobs. You know, we all love the game. We all play the game, but we have just enough knowledge and just enough talent to help you. That's why we have jobs. So come out and get to know us, embrace the staff, embrace the team, and soon enough, you'll be part of the Golf Ohana. Okay, so that's kind of your first steps into the program. But going forward, this is part 1 of a series of videos, and Coach is gonna walk us through step by step on how to build your golf game. There's nothing like personal instruction, but this is going to be our virtual instruction. And like I said, if you are on Oahu, please give us a call, 808-254-2107. We'll get you in touch with the coach. We want to help you to develop your golf game. But in the meantime, work at your pace. Stay tuned to our video lessons, our series, and we're going to go forward with this. It'll be week after week. So, Coach, what's going to be the first installment? What is lesson 1 going to be?
Well, good thought here. I think getting to the golf course, getting a look around, understanding that par isn't the score you're supposed to make on your first outing. It's an expert score.
Yeah.
I think that scares a lot of people away. So we'll look at the scorecard, look at the golf course, beat the staff, understand the golf balls are round.
Yeah.
And they're small.
Okay.
And they're dimpled.
Very
Those
good.
are simple starts.
Okay, very good. Okay, so folks, stay tuned for the next one. I'll be back with Coach Leland, and we're going to be in the pro shop, and we're going to get you started. Aloha, and we'll see you at the Clipper.
Thank you.